It's ironic that the act of being tied up could open me up, open myself and my soul, and feel liberated. I think there's a funny little irony there. It felt like the rope was alive, like it was engulfing me and holding me tight. I felt warm, I felt safe.
What comes to your mind when you hear the word Shibari? If you're familiar, then today might surprise you. If you're unfamiliar, keep your heart open. Shibari is an art and a tool that uses rope as a form of connection. People practice it in many ways. I was drawn to the immense trust and vulnerability needed to explore this art. I'm drawn by the stillness and movement needed, and in many ways it is a mirror of the human experience. There is something magical about how you need to surrender so deeply to another person, someone you have to build a connection with to put your trust in. It is not uncommon in human nature to put on a mask, to hide parts of yourself that you're afraid to show the world. But when you're tying or being tied, that mask has to drop. It has to shed, because Shibari, by its very nature, is an art of vulnerability.
I am from Penang. I live in KL. I identify as a transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her. I have been on this journey for probably 4 years. What I mean is like with regards to gender identity and being queer. I did have friends and family who gave me support and who give me support until today. I think that helped overcome those challenges, such as facing the misogyny that inherently comes with a lot of Indian culture. I know it's not like supposed to be a part of Indian culture. It used to be like, men had these roles and women had these roles, but a lot of those outdated practices seeped into our culture today, and that's perfectly natural. But so is the transition from what used to be natural and what is natural today, right? Like, just because I appear different does not mean I'm not natural. So the biggest challenge, I think, for me was fighting that internal stigma that what I truly am is unnatural, and that if my parents were to see me, that they would think that I'm unnatural. And it has taken me a while, and it's still an ongoing process to overcome that sort of internal conflict. I've always been an outlier. I've never been natural per se. I often do the weirdest things, I say the weirdest things. I have tried even dressing up as a child. So my idea of normal and natural has always been skewed. I always feel like I don't want to be normal, I want to be something else. But certainly, like, it comes from like our upbringing, right? It comes from our parents first and foremost. Like, what they believe, you believe as you grow up in that household. I'm just grateful, and I'm very lucky that I was brought up in the circumstance where I had the opportunity to question those norms without education and without a good upbringing, I would not have the ability or the capacity to question and challenge these norms.
I think being from two cultures kind of create a third one. So I don't feel like I'm equally resonating on both sides because I'm not fully Indian. Okay. So I can't resonate with people who are really fully Indian. I'm not fully Malay, so I'm not really like resonating with that. So I'm more of a, I guess, a mix of both, but not really. That's the thing about the third culture kid, I feel I resonate with that. Right. I even asked my parents when I was younger, what am I actually?
Through these sessions, we explore deeper themes of identity markers like gender and culture. Ropes always seem to have a way of teasing out things that have been restricting you, holding you back and binding you to a version of yourself that goes beyond what you've been told you need to be. Shibari ties you up only to release you to be your truest self.
I was told like identifying as a Malay is more beneficial in this country. Within the communities that I come from, I have experienced some form of discrimination, of course, because I choose to dress up the way I do. Some people feel comfortable fully clothed. Some like to show a bit of skin, and I fall under the latter. And with tattoos coming from Muslim background, so that's like an additional, I feel like I'm putting a target on myself.
It made me highly aware from a very young age that I stood out. My name is Paulina. I've just turned 33 and I am a beautiful melting pot of Indian and Iban, which honestly I feel really proud of, being a little bit of both. Both being an immigrant and someone from the earth is something that I hold quite dear to myself. You know, coming from the Iban side, it was also a bit difficult because I didn't look like any of the other Iban girls or anyone of my family even. Like, I'm the outlier. And I think especially when you're younger, that becomes very obvious. When I first came to the mainland, when I first came to KL, there were parts of my identity on both ends that I tried to erase or to fit in, and I very much regret that nowadays as I grew older, because I've realized that it's what makes me different. It's what makes me part of this land, but also part of something much greater outside of Malaysia and outside of this land, you know, like my father's home, my ancestral home in Kerala. I have a lineage there, I have a thread that ties me back there just as much as I have a thread that ties me and solidifies me here and grounds me here and makes me as patriotic for my country and being Malaysia. But as a child, I did not understand that that was a good thing or that was something to be proud of, right? As a child, all you want to do is to fit in. You want to be like the other kids and stuff like that. So there was a lot of that.
You should be so rigid to stick to the norms and expectations handed to you by those before you, then you are not evolving. You are stuck in one place. Grow. Explore yourself, explore inward. Discover how you want to present yourself to the world. be colorful.